Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Randy. It is Saturday. It is time for me to go on my quest to see if I can find a new rescue. Hope you are all doing well this week. Let's see. Well, we had a couple really cool videos come out this week. If you haven't got a chance to check them out, we had the live bloom video. It was a time lapse of a bloom of a pretty cool flower, and also the 100,000 view guess that bloom contest winner was announced. So check that out also. So I think I'm just going to head out to see if I can find something new. Stick around. So the craziest thing happened. I was on my way to my normal place to see if they had any rescues, and I got a call from the house saying that there was water leaking from the ceiling, and so I had to abort that and take off and get back from the studio to the house. And so I got that taken care of and decided to stop by the store to see if, for some lunch, for some stuff for lunch. And lo and behold, I walk in and there are orchids in the floral area on the counter that are in dire need of rescue. Check them out. So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of the craziest thing because I never get rescues from this particular place. And so the interesting thing is, as soon as I told the floral manager what I do, she started asking me questions, and I kind of sat there for 10 minutes telling her why they're losing their plants at a high rate and how they can make more money and how they can save their plants or have their plants looking fresh for longer so they can obviously make more on them and not have to clearance them out or do a clearance on them. Wow, couldn't get that out. So I am going to get these home. It's really hot here now, so I'm gonna get them home pretty quick, get them in some water, let them soak to try to rehydrate. Maybe some of those blooms will come back. Some of them will probably have to be cut off, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, I got these back home, and I'm just going to take a closer look at them and show them to you. So here's the first one. We got 4 of them. So as you can see, this one is, I don't know, these may come back a little bit. Like that's gone, that's probably gone, that's gone. That's what I was telling the lady. Because she asked me like, what could they do to revive them? And I said, a lot of these are far past being saved as far as to resell at full price. But there's actually a bud here and a bud here, a bud here, bud here. So there's still a few buds, and then there's a couple. There's another spike here, and there's a bud here that looks like it's probably going to die. So there's a few buds here. So there's a good chance that this could come back, at least to show for a little while. I mean, there's a healthy root there. Now, one thing I noticed about these are literally light, and that's what I told her. I said, I literally took it out and put it in her hand. I said, feel how light that is? There's no water in here. And that's not necessarily totally bad, but it should be a little bit heavier than this. It doesn't have to be waterlogged, but it should be a little bit heavier. So that is the first one. Now, this one is the one that I really asked her about. She ended up, talking to me about the rest of them. Like this one is really limp. This is leathery. These are far gone. As you can see, these are just gone. So I just don't see this one. That's broken. So I might have done that on the way home. But that's broken. So that is really no reason to try to see if I can get a secondary bud out of here. Actually, there's a little bud coming out of here. And so if I really wanted to save this one, then what I would probably do is cut this probably there. Cut that right across there. And let's see here. Maybe cut this one off totally, because what's going to happen is if I cut those off, it's going to send all the energy to this one and not try to save and repair this. So one thing about your plants, you have to really think about energy. Where is it sending the energy? And you want to always send the energy where you want it. The reason why I usually cut back, because I got a lot of flack. People's like, no, you don't cut it back. You cut it back to the 4th node, and that's where it reblooms. The thing about it is, if that's where it's reblooming from, that's where it's sending energy. And you don't want to always send energy to those blooms if you need it to, if you want to grow, because it doesn't grow and bloom at the same time. So when you need it to grow and get healthy, you got to get rid of the blooms. And so, so this one we'll probably, just for the heck of it, cut it here, cut that off, probably take off this one to like the 4th node, even though I just said that, just to see if it pops a bloom. So that's number 2. Number 3, this one I think may come back and get somewhat, at least spread out some, so it'll show for a little while. So if I wanted to let somebody keep this one or whatever, this one might be one that can happen with. So we're gonna find out. And let's see here, that's the 3rd one. I'm not gonna get, I already talked a little bit about that. Now, this one is interesting. I know it's probably hard for you to see this just the way I have this, but I'm going to take this out. So this is a bigger one. As you can see, it comes in a really cool pot. That's definitely gonna be reusable. And it comes in a lot bigger pot. And it was really stuck in there, and it was sealed. Like I put some, my favorite, I know you guys don't like this, but I put popcorn in there just so I could get it out easy, because it took me a while to get it out because it was sealed, which means it's not getting any air circulation down there. So that's one problem with this particular plant. And let's look at the blooms first. So that bloom is good. That bloom is dead already. So that new bloom is already dead. This is going to be, that's going to show for a little bit. That's going to show for a little bit. I don't think this one is gone. This one's gone. This one's gone. And these are going to show. This bloom is dead. This one is just popping. So this one is going to show for a little bit. So it's going to be really cool to have this one around for just a little bit. Now, the 2 things I noticed about this: 1, obviously it's in a decor pot. 2, like I said, it was sealed, so there was literally no air circulation getting down there. Even if they're going to put these in here, they should put something in there like I did to make this rise up, so at least air goes down and comes out, or goes down, comes down through the roots and comes out. So always be aware of that. Are you getting circulation, air circulation to your roots? Now, the next thing about this, I noticed, I was kind of surprised, because when I felt in here, I felt these wood chips. So I was like, wow, this isn't a really good medium. But when I took it out, I realized this medium is almost like soil. It's so thin. I don't know if you can see it falling, but it's almost like soil. And so what I want to do, I think I'm going to water it one good time to see how mushy and muddy it gets. If it gets mushy and muddy, I'm just going to let it dry out, and I'm going to get this one replanted pretty quick to make sure that it doesn't just overall suffocate the roots and die off. So I'm definitely going to do that. Now, I just wanted to show you, because every week I've mentioned I'm going to hydrate the plants, and I get a lot of people asking me all the time about watering. I'm going to show you my lazy man's method of watering. I probably shouldn't, because I always go soak water. Well, I'm going to soak water, but I just want to show you an easy way to water if you have a decor plant. Again, this is something you need to learn, and you need to learn how much your plant needs. So I am going to soak all these for just a little while, right? So instead of like running water and a whole bunch of water, because I'm try to conserve water and things like that. So instead of wasting a bunch of water, what I'm actually going to do is just take this plant. I'm going to take this water and pour it in here. This is just straight water, nothing special about it. I'm going to pour this water in here, and I'm going to set this plant in here. As you can see, it's starting to bob. That means it's sitting on top of there, and it's dry, just like a dry sponge, just like wood. And what's going to happen is that's eventually going to settle down in there, and it's going to soak that water up. And now what I'm going to do is set a timer, and later on this evening, a couple of hours, even if I forgot it till tomorrow morning, it's not going to kill the plant sitting in there just that one day. But what I want to remember to do is let it wick what it wants, and then I'm going to pour the rest of the water out, and then just set it back in here. And this one has enough room that it's aerating. What I'll probably do is I still a lot of times will take a couple of peanuts and just drop it in the bottom to make sure, just to give it a little more air circulation. So I'm just going to drop that one in there like that. And I'm going to show you one more thing. Now this is a I just realized this one's going to be interesting. I didn't notice this before, but the next leaf on this one has already come out and it looks like it's dried out for some reason. So that could be a problem down the line. So we'll have to watch that to see if we can get another leaf. I believe the next one will come out this way, so it'll actually come out this side. So it should be fine, but we'll keep an eye on that, maybe do an update on it. Now, let's just say this one just needed regular watering, just regular watering. What I like to do, this is my lazy way, is after a while, I know just about how much water this thing can soak up in a couple of hours. So let's just say if I do 1/3, it'll soak up and then it'll pull the rest of the water up. It's going to pull the extra water up and it'll be fine. So what I'll do is just know where my spot is, about 1/3 of the way up, and then I'll just set that in there like that. And what's going to happen, it's just going to wick all that water away. And that's how I'm going to water my plant. So a lot of times when I'm in a hurry and I don't want to soak water or whatever, I'll literally just I'll just walk by where my plants are in the windowsill. I'll know how big it is. I'll just put some water in there, drop it in, and it'll wick it up. Sorry, that's probably right in your way. It will wick that water up. That plant is watered. It doesn't have to always be this elaborate soaking it, letting it dry, letting it drain. Just if you have a decor pot, that's really why I like these, is if you have a decor pot. Once you learn how much it'll soak up, so let's just say you fill it 1/3 of the way up and you let it soak, and then you come back 2 hours later and there's water in the bottom. That's too much. That's too much water. It's not going to soak up that much water. You go down to maybe 1/4 of the way up. Go down to 1/4. Now you put 1/4 in there, you come back a couple hours later, all the water's gone. It will soak up 1/4 of the water. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that, but it'll soak up 1/4 of the water. And then that's a quick way you can water plants if you have a lot of them. So even with this one, I'm just going to get this one going. Now I did put that stuff in there just so it can breathe, but I'm just going to put that water in there and drop that in there and see what happens. I think I might need a little bit more. That didn't really fill that up. So I'm just going to put more water in there. Yeah, and I'm just going to set that in there and let those soak. So I'm going to come back here in just a little bit, just so you can see what happened with these plants. All right, so it's been probably 4 or 5 hours, as you can see. It's been a crazy day. Sorry, I didn't get dressed for this one today. Literally had some plumbing problems, some AC problems, water stuff, but I wanted to get you guys this and I wanted you to see this. So excuse all this, but hey, let's get to it. So like I said, it's been about 4 or 5 hours and let's see what we got here. This one is this the one I cut? Yeah, I think this is the one I cut. It had already broken. So I took that off and we're gonna lose that bud there. This one you can see, those are gone. So it didn't really hydrate. So let's actually look at this. So as you can see, that it was so it's fully hydrated there, and it's a little mossy. So this is going to have to be replanted pretty quick. Let's see. So like I said, I just let it sit in there, and as you can see, all that water's left, and I'm just going to set that back in there. So yeah, let's look at this. So we got these two here. So what I'm going to do with this is cut about right here and see if it pops another bud, because let's see here, this is gonna go. I'm gonna cut that one off, and you know what, I think I'm gonna actually just cut this one right here, because hopefully you can see this. There's a little bud right there, I'm sure. There you go. There's a little bud right there, and so that's gonna spring out and pop out some new flowers. So I'm gonna cut this up here, so if it has some die off, it'll die off to about right here. Probably get rid of this and get rid of at least half of this to see if it'll spike. So This is the one with the really soft leaves. They actually feel a little better. They're not full yet, but I think that these will firm up a little bit and it will be fine. What do we have here? So again, take this out, obviously fully hydrated. Pour that water out, drop it back in. And so these are a little soft, but they'll be all right. And what are we gonna save here, if anything? Well, I'm thinking I'll take these off. I'm just gonna wait to see if these little buds here pop. There are a couple buds there, and this one, I might wait to see if that pop. I don't think they will, but what's it gonna hurt? I think if any of them have a chance, it'll be this one. And so what will be cool with this is if, let's see here, those are pretty firm. So if we take off this full stem, leave this, so all the energy goes to these two buds and these two buds, probably get a 4 bud, and then we can turn it and shape it to face to front. And I think this one will be all right. The only problem, like I said, is this particular leaf right here is dead, and that's in the center. And so if it's actually gone, we can only hope that it kicks out a new leaf. So that's 2, 3. All right, so this one is fully healthy as far as the leaves, nice. You can see that one actually has a root coming out the bottom, so good roots on that. All of these really, really, really need to be replanted. This one I think is just kind of done. So I think this one will probably get cut. Well, let's see here. No, that one actually has a spike coming right there. If you can see, there's a small spike coming there. So I'm gonna go on and probably cut these right here. And so all the energy goes to this spike. And then I'll check this one. Yeah. Oh, this one has a spike right here. So wow. So this one has a spike here. So that one's gonna spike out. So I'm gonna cut this right here, cut this one right here, and then let these two spikes have all the energy to rebloom. So that's that one. So those are all rebloom. Now let's look at this big boy. I already kind of emptied this one out. And I'm going to take this out here because this one's a little bit different. This one I filled up and watered. Now, let's look at the bottom first because I'm going to hide that in a second. I'm not a fan of the medium in here. It's not too bad, actually. I thought it was going to be a little more muddy than it is. I think what I'm going to actually do with this one is probably make some holes, like cut some slits in the side so it can get some airflow through the sides. Keep it out of this because I don't want it to suffocate in here. So I'm gonna take this one out of here, I believe, make some air holes in the side so it can breathe, and just let this finish blooming because this is what I wanted to show you. Actually, yeah, that's just running in my lap. I've had a lot of water problems today. But look at this. So this is gone, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. However, these are going to give us a nice showing for a couple of weeks at least, I'm guessing, if we don't do anything drastic to it. And if you look at this side, we got 3 flowers. That one's new, this one's a little older, and that one's about to bloom. So this one's going to show for a little while. So that, you know, it's a nice little deal. And I'm just going to not worry about the medium it's in right now. I mean, it grew in this and it's blooming in this, so it can't be too bad. I just want to make sure it gets some air. Like I said, I'm going to put some holes and stuff in there. So that is it. And so I hope you got something out of this. I hope you learned something. If you did, do me a favor, make a comment, subscribe obviously, but at least give it a thumbs up. If you got something out of it and you enjoyed the video, at least give it a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. It was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but like I said, I always enjoy talking to you guys. And I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for joining me. As always, be safe. More importantly, be kind. Never give up on them. Till next time, peace.